Welcome to my 6th review. This one is of One Beat, which came out in 2002. One Beat to me has a really different vibe from a lot of the other albums, like a blues or something like that. This album came out after 9/11, and some of the songs on it address things concerning that, such as politics and fear. The first song on this album is One Beat. So this song is called One Beat because of its drum beat, which, you know, is kind of a melody unto itself. So something I've noticed in this album, from the very start, is that Corin's voice seems older and more wizened. Some of the lyrics, she says the word shake, a tambourine comes in, and I don't know if that's on purpose, but if it is, that's really clever, because you shake a tambourine. Get it? I also really like CARRIE's kind of like faster vocal parts. The thing about this song is it doesn't really feel like a normal song. Like the chorus of it doesn't feel like an actual chorus to me, because instead of building up to something more powerful, it kind of has this part and then it just kind of changes. If I'm to run the future, you've got to let the old world go. I love that line. The second song on this album is Far Away. This guitar part is very marching to me, very military, but also fear-inducing. And then you have this. It's sort of like a calmer guitar part than the other part, but it isn't entirely certain of safety, so it's sort of like the eye of the storm. CARRIE's vocal part in the background is really driving the chorus forward. So the chorus is very catchy and very jammable and very danceable, but the verses are very specific mood oriented. They're sort of verses that you can only listen to when you're like mad. So it's like, what do you do? Do you listen to it? Do you not listen to it? The next song on this album is Oh! So this song is clearly like different from the first two songs, which were much more state of the world oriented, and this one is just nice and about love. I like how this riff kind of dives down, and obviously I'm reading too much into it by saying this, but it's how you could be like diving into your relationship, that like synthy thing. I kind of like it, it's fun. So that song is also like poppier than other songs, but I'm not opposed. I love that song, and I love listening to this recording of it. But Sleater-Kinney live NPR Music Front Row video on YouTube, I like that performance of Oh better. She goes, "Don't worry, you got it," and I just think that's so fun. The next song is The Remainder. Already I feel like this guitar part is very calculated. I like how all these background noises kind of set you on edge. Does it kind of have like a keyboard or like an organ sound in the background? It's making me feel like I'm in Dracula's mansion. The whole mood of the song, it seems sort of trepid, sort of like tiptoeing through a dark hallway, the whole verse and the breakdown part. The chorus is very, and the verses are very like, and that combination is very cool. It's really good, especially that chorus. The next song on the album is Rail Coyote, and gotta pull out, CARRIE's memoir to give you a little background. There had been an article in a local paper about a coyote hopping a ride on the light rail transit system, which we turned into a love song to Portland. I really like this guitar. I really like like the guitar part in that part. I just don't like the way this verse moves. Like, it kind of is just repetitive and it keeps going in the same circle over and over again. I just like the rhythm of that vocal part that CARRIE has there. In the end there, corin's part is doubled by CARRIE's voice. Corin is sort of singing it and then CARRIE's sort of saying it underneath. That combination just strengthens it for me. These pre-choruses though. Water is building. I wish CARRIE's part in that pre-chorus stood out a little bit more. I just did all of Step Aside and now I have to do it again. A brass instrument? I like that she said their names and then it was like a call and response. But I love these na-na-nas. There are so many better things they could have ended that song with. Where did that come from? I have one theory, and that is that corin was feeling a different type of upset. Like, she was upset in a new way, and so she was like, I need a different way of expressing it. I appreciate that they're trying new things. A lot of the song does work. I really like the na-na-nas. I really like the call and response part. But then the rest of the song, to my ears at least, it doesn't work on the band. The next song on this album is Combat Rock. I also really like this guitar part in here. Like, you would expect it to go da 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 da, but it doesn't do that last note, leaving it unresolved, just like kind of our problems are, which is so cool. What happened to CARRIE's voice? She doesn't have to say it this way. She can sing it normally. I like that CARRIE and corin's vocal parts at like a couple points, they meet each other on the same note. They're separate, but they're trying to come together. CARRIE singing the verses, it sounds bad. She could sing it normally and have it be a great song. She takes it so far, it sounds like she's being sarcastic about what she's saying. Corin totally saves this song. The lyrics in this song are also like super obvious, and I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, I love a good metaphor. The next song on this album is O2. This part is really cool, and it only happens once in the whole song, which is sort of sad how fleeting it is. The melody is just so cool to me. There's sort of like a slight dissonance in that guitar part, which is really cool. I love this part, but the fact that it was just like on every beat, I get that they were trying to add something powerful to it, I guess, but it's already powerful enough, so like it doesn't need that. And frankly, it's a little bit annoying. Corin is so powerful. She takes every song like to the next level. So the next song on this album is Funeral Song. The drums are annoying, and I feel like they're there to add a little bit of grit because otherwise the melody would be too smooth, but I still feel like there could have been some other way to add that. I can hear a riff back there. They could bring it out and it might serve the same purpose that the drums do. Do you guys hear that siren sound? But it's also sort of a ghost sound, which both make sense for this song because like ambulances come when people are dying and then like ghosts are like dead people, and it's a funeral song. See, she just said it. So I personally like that song. I can see the downsides of this song though, in that the verses are sort of repetitive, and there's just the simple melody and then the sort of annoying drums in the chorus. It's not as good as some of the other songs. The next song on this album is Pristina. The melody in that was so much more interesting and engaging than the rest of this entire song. It's confusing because, like, are we proud that she, like, works hard to get all A's, or we're upset that she can't, like, go out to clubs and listen to rock and roll? Those messages are, like, slightly contradictory. Maybe the song is just saying, like, let's put less pressure on girls and let them be who they are, but then we're being sarcastic about her Bunsen plate? Like, I just can't tell. The part that makes this whole song worth it is definitely the bridge. The next song on this album is Hollywood Ending. Is "Go out and buy yourself a clue" a dumb lyric or a commentary on capitalism? You decide. It seems like it's about sort of becoming less of yourself to sort of please other people, and that typical, like, power ballad rock ending adds to that because that's what you would expect from a rock song. So they're doing that to be like, I'm not going to be myself, I'm just going to give you this ending that is how other people think it should end. Hiding yourself to please somebody else is such a theme in so many Sleater-Kinney songs. I like that song a lot. I think it's a jam. So the last song on this album is Sympathy. We're gonna unlock some backstory. I've only cried once in the studio, and it was when Corin sang her vocals for Sympathy, a song about her fears of losing her son when he was born premature. Precious babies, you're not begging my prayer. This guitar part is on the verge of collapsing. I think I would really like Carrie's part in this part if it weren't tainted by these I think it's a little annoying. In the bridge, the part where it's like, hey, when the moment strikes, Corin's vocals, while not completely isolated there, are not really backed up by a constant guitar or drum part. That parallels the lonely and isolated feeling she had while she was worried she was going to lose her son. The whole song she's been singing, I'd beg you on bended knees for him, a certain way, sort of higher up. And then there at the end, she sort of takes it down. Intimately, she sings it. That part seems sort of like a confession. She's admitting her powerlessness. Very powerful. Let me read what CARRIE said about One Beat as an album. One Beat is often characterized as a political album, which speaks to how long it took for musicians, especially in the mainstream, to address or make sense of the xenophobia and jingoism that took hold of the culture post 9/11. One Beat was one of the earliest. Yet, the common thematic thread on the record is less overtly political and more an exploration of faithlessness, of trying to uncover hope or meaning in a time that was very, very bleak. Certainly Far Away and Combat Rock address politics explicitly and deliberately, but the title track and Sympathy search for meaning in scars, using pain and wounds as a vernacular. The album spoke to a dismantling of old ways, of old loves, of old ideas. Not only is it a dismantling of old ways, old loves, and old ideas thematically, it also does so sonically. It takes things from different genres, definitely. One thing I really, really admire about Sleater-Kinney is that they aren't afraid to do something different. This is a really good album. I just find the vibes that it gives off sometimes slightly off-putting, but the more I listen to it, the more I like it. Yeah, so all in all, One Beat is like pretty good. It has some jams on it. The one development that is just not my favorite is CARRIE's voice. I just don't see why she felt the need to change how she sang. Thank you so much for watching it. I really do appreciate it, and see you next time. My cowlick keeps popping up, but at least I tried my very best, I guess.